Hey guys, this is the Vinyl Casket. I'm Nick, and do me a major favor and please hit that subscribe button, drop a like and a comment, and we're going to be getting right into this video. So this video is super specific. I'm going to be talking about a lot of the stuff that Marvel has been announcing about the X-Men comics in the last month or so. When this video comes out, the second annual X-Men vote will have ended on the 14th, which was Friday. When the first vote came out last year, leading into Hellfire Gala, I did not make videos in this way, so I couldn't really talk about it. Jonathan Hickman, when he took over X-Men, he did these concurrent events, House and Powers of X. This reset everything and kind of led us into the Dawn of X, the Reign of X, and now, if I'll hit this button correctly, Destiny of X. Bringing us a whole slew of new titles, reset titles, renumberings, and all sorts of stuff. In this image, as you can see, we're going to have the Immortal X-Men, which just came out of the event of Inferno. We're going to be having Marauders renumbered starting from issue 1. X-Force will be continuing. X-Men will be continuing. Wolverine will be continuing, and so will New Mutants. But we get a bunch of new titles like Legion of X, Knights of X, and X-Men Red, which was an old title that's being brought back. Marvel gave us a whole bunch of new stuff about this stuff, and I was really wanted to talk about some of the covers, the stuff that was given to us about two of the new titles coming out, and about what was I going to say about the vote itself, and talk a little bit about how the vote worked, how it's structured, and the characters that we were able to vote for, and who might possibly be added to the X-Men team this upcoming event later this year. With that being said, we're going to get right into that by getting rid of that and getting into this. So this is the first cover that was released for Legion of X. So Legion of X, it comes straight out of the Way of X miniseries, featuring Nightcrawler and Legion, son of Professor X, Charles Xavier. We also see that we get Charles Xavier's half-brother, Kane Marco, the Juggernaut, and we have Pixie here with Destiny. We also have another cover featuring Dust and Blindfold, a character that, like Destiny, because she was a precog, was not being able to be brought back through the Resurrection Protocol. I'm very excited for this title with these characters. The Way of X and the mini one-shot event that came out of that was that Nightcrawler is kind of leading his own police force for the X-Men country now. I'm very excited to see how this works and the morality of this. I'm very excited to see this actual title. Next, we have X-Men Red, which seems it's going to involve the new Krakoan planet of Mars, Araco. In the events of Hellfire Gala, it was established that the mutants had taken over Mars and repopulated it to put the mutants that came from that other world on this planet. And it seems that this title is going to deal with that. In the events that are going, I know they did some stuff in the last X-Men issue that kind of humans questioning and wanting to say stuff about it and deal with it, but it looks like we're gonna get Magneto, Storm, and that is Sunspot. So that was really cool. This other cover involves Vulcan, the other brother of the Summers, which you have Cyclops and Havoc. Their other brother, Vulcan, here is fighting Storm in her new costume, so I'm very excited for that. So those were the new titles that we were kind of referenced and we were given, and yeah, that was really what we knew, what we thought we had, and I was really excited about this for a number of reasons, primarily being that this is all coming right at the same time as the voting was announced. So if you don't know, I'll just this for a second. Last year they announced, hey, we're gonna let the fans vote on the last member added to this new X-Men team. It will be announced, and as we got more information, we found out that that they were setting it up as like an election, right? And then in the comics, they announced that there was gonna be an election, that the Krakoan citizens were gonna vote, but we were the Krakoan citizens basically, and that the Hellfire Gala, this event which is leading up to, was gonna be where it was announced and established, and that we're getting a brand new renumbered X-Men title with this new team. And it was really interesting. The character selection was cool, and I'm very excited to see where we're going with that. Well, right now we know we have like 5 or 6 issues, but it is what it is. The Hellfire Gala itself was a really cool event that made up for some of the lackluster stuff that they've been doing in the previous year or so. Hellfire Gala was cool. It had connected covers. Every series that was happening in the X-Men universe had an issue that led from point A to point B. They would just pause the story and they did boom, 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 boom. And within a month, it was done. It was fun. It was cool. It was original. And now it seems that there's going to be a Hellfire Gala every year because they said annual. This is the annual vote. This is going to be the annual Hellfire Gala. So now we have an annual X-Men event until they restart the whole X-Men universe again. And I'm really excited for this because they have a bunch of new characters that we can choose from, could have chose from. And I want to talk about some of these characters. I'm going to go through each of them, what they could have brought to the table, where they're kind of from, and how I think they would be on a team. Because we don't know, is this going to be the same team that we have in the main title X-Men team, or are they going to restart the whole team again? We don't know. So with that being said, I'm just going to hit that and go back to Slideshow. And boom. We're going to start off with Armor. So Armor is the only character on this election list option that was on it last year too. And I just don't understand why Marvel just doesn't make her a main X-Men at this point. When they started Dawn of X, she was involved in the main title a bunch. She was involved in New Mutants a bunch. She was involved in all these different one-shots and everything. A ton. She was constantly being used, and then they kind of threw her back. Then this vote last year came out. She was there. She didn't win. Now the Secret X-Men issue that's coming out is featuring all the characters that did not win the vote, and she's in it. And then again, she's on the vote again this year. So she's like an X-Academy kind of character, a younger X-Men that people loved when she was used in main titles, kind of like Pixie. But for some reason they just have tried to push her in and then stop halfway and just, oh no, we don't need her. And then they want to push her in again. It is what it is. It's annoying though. Next we have the one, the only, we have Avalanche. So Avalanche is cool. Avalanche is like a Brotherhood of Evil Mutants character, but in recent years, all the mutants are kind of came together. There was a couple issues I think that he made like a presence or he helped out in the last like 2 or 3 years, and interesting, but I don't like. Is this like a redemption kind of thing for him? Is it gonna matter? I don't think he's like the best option to really pick because I don't know like what they could do unless they want to completely give him a whole character development. But I feel like he was put here because no one's gonna vote for him and it was an easy win for someone else. We got Bling. So Bling is another one of those younger Avengers from like X Academy, New X-Men, Young X-Men, that whole era of we love to do actual students. Really cool. I don't know. Bling would be cool. Bling would be really cool. Do I think that Bling's gonna win? Not really. There hasn't been a lot about Bling in the last couple of years. Like a lot of the characters surrounding that like demographic of story arcs and stuff. A lot of just the generation right before Bling was very popular though lately. Firestar, weird option here because she's not even an accepted, or she hasn't accepted citizenship to Krakoa. She's never been really established as a mutant. Like I guess her powers are mutant, but she's more of like a random. First off, I didn't even know she was still around. She's like an 80s character. You know, Amazing Spider Friends, her, Iceman, and Spider-Man. She's like a Spider-Man character. Don't know why they're trying to pull her into the X-Men. There's no way that she's gonna get a vote. Another thing, I think they set it up. They put characters that are cool, really cool ideas that no one's gonna pick because they put fan favorites next to them, and this awesome concept kind of is just there as a joke. But it would be cool, but she's not really claiming the X-Men, so I don't know how she got into the vote. They're definitely gonna explain this in one of the issues in like the new Hellfire Gala, that why she's there and who helped her and whatever. But I'm excited. Gentile. This is new X-Men Academy, new X-Men. He is the first Wakandan mutant. He was enrolled in the academy. Before M-Day and everything. He was mentored by Storm. He had problems with his powers hurting him and all sorts of stuff, but no, thanks to like X-Men Red, he no longer has those issues. He's a really, really powerful mutant. He's a really cool character. Drawing style, like the way he's been drawn, is epic. I would love to see it. I'm pretty sure it was Scotty Young during New X-Men that drew him like a boss. I can't wait. I hope this character makes it. I didn't necessarily vote for him, but he was on my top like 3 of characters I want. If you don't know, I love New X-Men, New X-Men Academy, Young X-Men. That whole era is just my jam. But really interesting character, really interesting background. The way he conducts himself would be really cool to see on a team with much more experienced X-Men than him. So this one's strange, okay? So this is Gorgon, a character that was heavily used during X of Swords. Obviously, he's all about using swords. You know, his powers are cool, all sorts of that. He died in X of Swords, and if you didn't know during that event, if you died in Araco or Otherworld or whatever it was, then you couldn't be resurrected as yourself. Like, it messed up the process. So it happened to Rockslide, a character from New X-Men Academy, that they brought him back and he wasn't himself. And then they really haven't established anything about him since X-Men 21, when they started renumbering the X-Men series. Since then, they have not mentioned him at all, which is weird. And Gorgon was brought back, and they said he was weird. There was something wrong with him. And now he somehow got put on this team. Or not on this team, but has the option to get put on this team. And we haven't really touched on what happened to him and what's different about him. And is he even capable of being an X-Man? This is a weird option. And I feel like they did this to like lure people in to do this because they have something planned that they're going to do either way. Who is Micromax? Interesting costume, like kind of cheesy costume. I've never heard of this guy. I have no idea about this guy at all. Apparently he can like change size or something. I didn't know. This is a wild card. I don't know who on the editorial staff was like, hey, Micromax. Firestar was random too, but at least like Firestar's like an established character that like haven't read anything about her, but I knew who she was. Penance. So this isn't fair. This is what I had the problem with the first vote, is they were putting characters that were pre-established in ongoing titles already, that had some spotlight in recent years. Here, Penance was one of the leading figures of X-Corps, a series that I dropped because I thought it was boring, mainly because of the way that they portrayed Penance. And Penance early on in the first Hickman X-Men series that they were doing at the beginning of Dawn of X was really cool. And then they did the X-Corp stuff and they ruined her. And I don't want to even give them another chance to mess with this character because they didn't pull it off right the first time. So why do they want to? They know they need redemption on this character and they're trying to force it in. I don't know if I jive with that. Whatever. In my notes, I literally wrote next to her, X-Corp's was ass. All right, so Siren, another character that wasn't a part of a main title team, but was used as a plot device, basically. X Factor, which was a title that I loved. I'm so upset they got rid of, and I wish they would have brought it back as one of these new series. Krakoa's own detective agency was awesome, and they ended it and going into Hellfire Gala last year. They ended it in the gala. It tied into the whole Trial of Magneto event. They were kind of leading the whole thing, but Polaris got pulled off the team and joined the main X-Men team. And that's what I'm always afraid about when they're putting characters that are already established. Then you're going to ruin the series. They pulled out Rogue from Excalibur. I don't know. I feel like Knights of X is going to replace Excalibur, which I think ended. But Siren was really cool because what they just did with her, she's the daughter of Banshee, an established X-Men that during like the mid-early 2000s was used a ton. She's really cool, really powerful. She was being possessed by like a being that X-Force had to like siphon out of her, and they needed help. It was really interesting. It was really cool how they played with that and how they saved her. So I don't necessarily consider her a part of the team as much as they were rescuing her. But would I like to see her on a new X-Men team? Yeah, I think it would be great. Some of the stuff that with her was amazing back in the day. But that leads me to the last person, which is Surge. So I'm going to have to say this out loud. Surge is a character that's very underknown right now. But in the early 2000s, early, mid, late 2000s, she was one of the best X-Men characters. First off, she was like the team leader throughout all of New X-Men, X-Men Academy, Young X-Men, all that stuff. She was part of like the main X-Men team. She was always used. Her, Hellion. And now you have characters like Wind Dancer's been used a bunch lately. Elixir's a main character, part of the Five. It's just really cool to see, X Factor used Prodigy a bunch. It would be really cool to see Surge get the recognition she deserves as a super cool character. I remember picking up the single issue of X-Men Academy 1, New X-Men Academy 1, and reading it and being like, holy crap. And like all the, her using the devices on her arms to keep the electricity like intact, the blue hair. Dude, she's such an iconic character and she's super powerful. I know my fan favorite here is going in, but like Armor, her, Gentle, even Siren, and I would love to see any of these characters get a chance to get back in the spotlight after years of not really being used correctly. I would love them to be main characters again with pre-established characters, because right now you got Sunfire, you have Rogue, you have Polaris, Jean Grey, Cyclops, X-23 as Wolverine. You got a lot of characters that are very substantial, very big, very important in the whole history of the X-Men. And I think putting these younger characters would propel them back to where they should have been. They never should have been knocked down a peg. These titles that they made in the early, mid, late 2000s should have kept going. Should have been pushed. These characters shouldn't have been forgotten about. And there's been a bunch of surges and attempts to get these characters back in, but only certain characters like Pixie, Blink, characters like that have made it back. Elixir's a huge character right now because of what they did with him. Mercury was used recently. It's just really cool to see the characters in, and Surge is a character that was the most popular out of all of them back then. And yeah, hashtag vote X-Men vote. Polls are now open. Well, no, they're actually closed now. I love how they put Surge in the middle. Like they were trying to say, like, you need to do this. I wanted to read some of the notes that they used to advertise this event. So this is the image that they had shown with all the characters listed, right? And yeah, this is the second annual. They mentioned how the gala is going to be an annual event, and they basically went on to say how like the fans are like 100% in charge of this, and this is how we're gonna do it. So if this is an annual thing that adds a new member to the X-Men team every year, are we gonna lose a member? Is Polaris gonna leave? I'm very interested to see where they go. I'm very interested to see how Marvel's doing this, and I like how they're building up hype around the X-Men titles. Because when you have 10, 12, 13 titles around the same base fan base, you need to do something, right? I hope you guys voted. I hope we get to see the Hellfire Gala a little bit sooner rather than later in the year. So we get an actual new member on the team as soon as possible. I really enjoyed this. I had a lot of fun talking about this. I'm probably going to do some news videos like this directly for YouTube a lot more in the coming, months and year. I haven't done a lot of these, but I thought this is the opportunity where I could talk about X-Men a little bit, and about this little event and the new titles that are coming out. Yeah, do me a huge favor, guys. Please hit that subscribe button. Please like and drop a comment. Tell me how you feel. Who did you vote for? Who would you have voted for? Who do you want to see win, even if they're not the character that you voted for? What are you reading? What's your favorite X title that's going to be coming out soon? Are you excited for Destiny of X? I am. Are you gonna read X Lives and Deaths of Wolverine? I'm not. Remember to please follow my Instagrams at Vinyl Casket and Vinyl Casket Comics. Follow and subscribe to my Twitch at Vinyl Casket, and here on YouTube at The Vinyl Casket. So do me a huge favor, guys, and remember to stay lame.